Hey guys, and welcome to a little bit of a preview. So Star Trek New Horizons is the Stellaris full conversion mod that I play with Star Trek, and they're releasing a new patch soon called Victory is Life. You can see the closed beta stuff right down here. Victory is Life is the newest patch. It's going to focus on Dominion. It is very much a work in progress. The version that I have is not going to be the final version, but the devs have given a few of us a chance to see what's going on and give some highlights for you. Definitely work in progress. They are polishing it. They're working on it. There's changes they've already said are going to happen. The goal is that they're going to release it before Christmas. They have not set an exact date yet. So we'll see where it goes. I'm going to do this little preview video where I'm going to highlight a few of the things that are, big changes, what's going on, that kind of stuff. And then I'm also going to do a Dominion Let's Play with some of the new mechanics, and hopefully we'll explore a little bit more of what is going on with that. So after you watch this video, there should be very soon after a new Let's Play starting of the Dominion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through probably a few, 4, 5, 6 of the things that I think are really interesting in this new patch, and just give you quick highlights of them. Hope you enjoy. So the first thing I wanted to highlight was some new races. So you can see, and actually on the race selection screen there's some new stuff here going on too. So one, they've added this glossary here to help explain what's going on. Major Empire, if they have a unique ship set that the devs have put together. And then also, I think eventually, it's not there yet, they're going to show what quadrant they're in. So it really makes it easier for you to choose what you want, how much stuff is going to go on, etc. Of course, you can see the Dominion here, they're in the Gamma quadrant. But they've added new races, too. So let me just scroll down here. You can see there are a ton of races in this game that are all custom in there now. And they're organized in different ways. But you can see here the Ocean, I think, is the hunters. So one of the big Gamma quadrant things, they hunt the Tusk, if you remember that storyline. And I believe the Tusk are also going to be in here at some point. I'm not sure if they're part of these guys or separate. I haven't tested that yet. But the hunters are in here. The Skrian Republic, the Matriarchal Society. Again, I believe this is Voyager. I actually don't remember the storyline as much, but they're agrarian, communal. They don't like to move around. They're pacifists, so that be an interesting playthrough to do. And they've also added the United Congress of Bania. Quick learners and charismatic. They are egalitarian and xenophile, so like knowing people. It's rather hard. I believe they're a single world start, if I recall. I was poking around earlier. So a couple new races in there to play. I think those are all the new ones that I can see here. But as you look here, there's a ton of other things. So lots of stuff and potential if you wanted to pick one. There's also, and I'm gonna talk about it here because I'm not sure if I'll be able to show it in game easily. But they've added in the equivalent of Fallen Empires, which they're calling unaffected races, which is part of the Webren civilization skill. So they've added in some non-playable empires that will sort of act as those fallen empires, the really strong things that are normally in the base game. So the First Federation, the Metron Consortium, and the Cytherians are all going to be in there. And the other thing that's going to happen is the Voth and the Herc are they're playable, but when they're not being played, they're going to be fallen empires as well by a player. So you get a little bit more of that fallen empire flavor, which you might be used to in the original game of Stellaris, but now you get it in here as well. So really cool. Excited to see that. As you can see, lots of changes going on here. Lots of different potential races to play through. So a lot of fun there. And we'll see you in the next one. The next thing I wanted to highlight was the new UI. So in the mod so far, there is a Federation UI, a Borg UI, a Romulan, and a Klingon, I believe. And they've added in the Dominion UI. So you can see here, all the purple. This is how the Dominion starts. We're just going to keep it paused here, but purple, really nice. I love the textures here. They've done a really great job of sort of making it feel like the base game, but just adding in enough of the curvature. You can see these like half icons here, which are really pretty. All of this structure here. Again, it feels like when we saw Dominion ships, this is what it kind of looked like, and I love that about it. I also love that we just sort of have, even just little details like that right there. Really cool things to make it feel just a little bit more like you're playing as Dominion and you're customized that way. It pops a little bit less on some of these screens where you have to get stuff done, which, I mean, that makes sense, right? So it's a nice thing to see, but it's not something that's required. But it's really fun when you get to play with one of these that matches with the race that you're playing. So, new Dominion UI. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was some of the ship models, just to show that they've done some dramatic updates, and I think they're still ongoing on ship models and what you see there. So these are the stations, which I think are new. Really cool sort of circular, rounded design to it. And I believe I'm trying to remember, the science vessel is gorgeous, and I don't remember, can't really get a good zoom on it. So let's actually go into Ship Designer here and look at our science ship. Hold on, transport ship, that's what I want. Really pretty design there. There's also some satellites. I think some of these have been updated as well. The dry dock, nice little styles to them. The listening post, I don't remember them looking like that at all, so that's pretty cool. And then if you come up here, patrol frigate, the cruiser's gorgeous, the assault cruiser. You'll see there's still some stuff that they're adding in here. This is still a work in progress, as I've noted before, but really pretty models for these guys, and there's a ton of stuff you can do here. All sorts of different... I have everything unlocked, so just as a note, I unlocked all the research to show you this kind of stuff, but look at all the stuff that you could potentially be doing here. Even in the Destroyer, we don't have the Destroyer, but look how many different types of Destroyers there are. Sabers, just tons of different stuff. And then, of course, your patrol frigates, which are, well, relatively simple, but a lot of really cool modeling here focused on this, particularly on these stations. So there we go, new models. Another item I wanted to highlight was the new Great Link mechanic. So this is similar to what you might have experienced with the Klingons and the Romulans, or for that matter, the UFP. They have a faction-specific mechanic that is kind of spy or not spy, that kind of thing. Now in this case, we can replace a solid leader, which we don't actually know yet. We don't know anyone, so we can't really do it. But we can engage in contemplations. So you get those couple options. I think the main one is going to be replacing those leaders, which is very similar to what happened in DS9, if you remember. But we can also engage in contemplations. It costs us some unity, but then something might happen. And I've fooled around with it a couple times. We're going to just... I'm killing out some pirates here as we go, just for the heck of it. These are actually rogue Jem'Hadars. So a couple things happen. One, the Great Link. Changeling reproduction is typically a slow mechanism. With the full effort of the Great Link, it can be sped up, if only for a limited time. So we can actually go crazy on speeding up our growth speed on the founder plant, which is awesome, because it's actually really hard to grow damn founders and spread them out. So that's, now we can go over here, we can look at our surfeit. I can click the button, right? And now whoever's growing, right there, your growth rate is actually relatively quick here. 204 to 2, let's... Well, actually, let me pause here, because the other thing that we can talk about is new events. So just like the Great Link, there are a ton of faction-specific events now in the Dominion that have been added in. So it's called the 100. This is a chain of events. We're going to initiate it. I'm not going to go through to it, because I'm going to end this video relatively soon here, but this is an entire new events chain around sending the folks out to the world. So that's really cool. Meanwhile, you can get the growth going, so there's a lot of different things that you can do. New events, this is actually one of the pirate events, but it's Rogue Jem'Hadar instead. So they've really replaced all the standard events with things that make sense for Dominion, which is really cool. From the big Great Link mechanic down to all the small stuff, all sorts of new things. So Really cool to see, lots of stuff there, and it's something I'm going to be exploring in a longer Let's Play. Finally, I just wanted to talk through a few other things that happened that didn't get into the last couple little videos here. So a couple things to note. One, they've changed Borg assimilation and that kind of stuff a little bit just to make sure it was working better. They've actually added, and I love this, incremental NCC ship registry numbers. So, you know how the Enterprise is 1701? It'll increment like that, which is great. Just really cool little thing there. I think we mentioned the unaffected races. There's some Dominion tech and components that are specific to the Dominion that I didn't go through because I just sort of researched everything so you could see. There's actually a mistake here, just as a note in the UI. Right now this is showing as Ketracel Right. It should show as food. It's meant to be food. There's just a thing that they're fixing in there, so that'll be fixed before you see it. You can also become the Borg Cooperative or Unit Matrix 0. You're going to there's an event to allow leaders to have ships named after them. Some new ship sets that I didn't cover here. Some other, fixing of pop factions and other stuff. So there's a bunch of other fixes that they're including, a bunch of things that they're doing to it. It's a pretty big patch. There's lots of stuff happening, and you're going to be able to play with the Dominion in a lot more interesting way. So I hope you enjoyed these little highlights here. A bunch of stuff coming out. You'll be seeing a Let's Play from me. You'll be seeing a Let's Play from a few of the other folks if you watch the Clash of the Titans. Some of those other guys are definitely putting out videos. In fact, I think there's some stuff now by Kaido out there and Futz, so go check those out as well. And I hope you enjoyed this. See you in the Dominion. Bye-bye.